I want to ask you one very sensitive question. Do you think, because some of the students we spoke to earlier on, a few of them were actually saying some lecturers just take delight in failing students. Do you agree with that point of view?
No, I don't.
That there are lecturers who take delight in failing students. Do you
Yes,
agree with that?
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
The reason is that these students are not serious. They don't even know the course title of some of the courses they are taking. When you ask them which course or what's the course title of this particular course, they tell you Dr. Don, Mr. Ejobe's course, Dr. Alex course. They use the names of
the lecturers.
They don't know. And then when they also fail, they will tell you that so and so, like Mr. A failed me, Mr. B failed me. And these are students who are not available to take tests. They don't submit assignments. They don't attend classes. And then for their CA, they already have 0.
Oh.
Then they show up from nowhere to come and take the exam. Now, if you have 0 over 30 already, what is such a student going to write to earn any good score from the lecturer?
Is there going to be a miracle?
So they blame lecturers for no reason.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Please, what's your name?
My name is Gift.
Gift.
Yes.
You are a student of Delta State University?
Yes, final year.
Final year, what department?
Final and applied arts.
Wow, lovely department.
Thank you.
Please, we are talking on the subject of that's high rate of carryover on campus today.
Yeah.
We are trying to probe into the causes and the possible way forward.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is the cause of this high rate of carryover?
Well, personally, if I'm going to be frank,
Yeah.
I would say it's from the student's end.
Okay.
Alright,
You mean solely from the student's end?
Yes.
Okay.
Because if they're doing what they're supposed to do, the rate of the carryover would be minimized. You understand? Because now a lot of us we are not serious.
Okay.
You know, school has come, we get that kind of mentality. So with the idea of coming to school and diverting into something else that is not school related. So I think that's basically what causes all those carryovers and stuff.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
So when you use the word seriousness, students are not serious. Don't you think something is responsible for this unseriousness on the part of students?
Well, of course.
Can you identify one of
everyone
such?
has their own reasons.
Okay.
Well, some it can be due to personal problems, maybe family issues, personal issues and stuff like that. But I won't say it's from the lecturers actually. Yes, because if you are doing what you're supposed to do, you will be giving these scores and results that you're supposed to.
Okay, do you have any advice for your co-students out there?
Well, just do what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Yeah, just take school seriously.
Okay.
Yeah, in the end, we will all graduate successfully and happily. So,
Wow.
yes.
But does that actually eschew the fact that some lecturers, perhaps we hear of things like textbooks, some students saying that because I didn't buy his textbooks, that's why they failed me. Because I did. Does that actually erase that that is a possibility in the university system?
I don't know of other universities.
Okay.
But in Delsu,
Yes.
we don't sell textbooks to our students.
Okay.
If you have any textbook to sell, there's a way you do it. You
Okay.
take it to the university bookshop. So the lecturer don't even get to know the number of students buying the books there. So we are not allowed to sell any kind of textbook material, whatever, to our students.
Okay, that aside, ma, there's still issues because we have our ears to the ground. We interact with the students. We also hear of issues like certain lecturers. That there are lecturers that you must pay certain amount of money to pass their courses. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I also hear of things like that.
Okay.
But I don't know of any lecturer
Okay.
who does that. I don't know. I do not encourage such.
Okay.
And so students don't bother coming to me to give me anything.
Okay.
A lecturer in the Department of Languages and Linguistics, Delta State University.
Fine. We are talking on this. We are seeing on the series high rate of carryovers on campus. Who is to blame? Is it the student, lecturer? Because some students have the opinion that lecturers take delight in failing them. Lecturers fail them because they are unable to buy their textbooks, when they are unable to maybe yield to some of their sexual demands on students and all that kind of stuff. What do you have to say about this?
Okay. Of the truth, I may say that the students are lazy.
Okay.
Because there's a proviso in the university that if you know that what you wrote in any of these exams are okay and that could not give you a carryover, there is a room for application for remarking of your script. And so many lecturers are aware of this. And if that is true, it shows that any lecturer who intentionally want to fail any student will have him or herself to be blamed.
Okay.
Therefore, I may not agree completely that lecturer have that spirit of wanting to fail their students, because they equally know that these students that they are making, they are like their investment.
Okay.
And if they are successful tomorrow, they could have one way or the other reaching them to assist whosoever they want to be assisted. So you will see that I may not really agree that it is from the point of view.
Okay, let's take it from this angle.
Yes.
You know, some people also believe that a rate of carryover in your department as a lecturer is also a reflection on whether the lecturer is doing well or not. Do you agree to that? That if a lecturer has a lot of students with plenty carryover, it shows the lecturer is not doing something right. Is that true?
Now, let me answer this first by saying that it's not peculiar to my department.
Okay.
It could be a general thing across the university system.
Okay.
But yes, I quite agree with you that some lecturers, they don't go to classes.
Okay.
They don't, attend to the classes the way they should attend to.
Okay.
And if that is seen in any of the lecturers, that will bring a result of having carryovers.
Okay.
I may agree with you to an extent in that respect that yes, some lecturers, they don't come to classes. And because they don't come and they set questions, maybe aside what they have taught, that will lead to having plenty carryovers.
Okay, what about this other aspect of what some students are actually talking about, lecturers demanding students to buy textbooks as criteria for passing their courses, that's their exams, and others are also talking about some demanding for money that you have to sort a lecturer to pass, and some also mention issues relating to sexual escapades. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, for issue of buying textbooks,
Yes.
as far as Delta State University is concerned, I'm aware that you do not force anybody to buy any textbook.
Okay.
If any lecturer does that and the management is aware, especially if it comes to the book that the lecturer wrote, is an offense in Delta State University. But generally, it is good for any student who want to perform excellently to buy books. So lecturers are at liberty to recommend textbooks for students to buy, but not pegging it to scores. We don't peg any mark to score to books that you buy and say that because you buy this book, you will get this kind of score or marks. Is forbidden in Delta State University.
Okay.
So on that note, I will say it is good for students to buy textbook, but no lecturer should peg that to. And if any student is aware that any lecturer is doing that, they should report the lecturer to the appropriate authority.
What about the sexual escapade?
The sexual, I have told you before, as per that, it is difficult for a brilliant student, a student that is serious, for any lecturer to punish her for sexual acts, because the student knows that when he faces the court, she has the right to write for remarking. And in the university management sees that lecturer is victimizing the student as a result of sexual acts, then that lecturer's job is at risk. We have had experiences of such people who were sacked in this university. And as such, I will say that it is only those students that will accuse their lecturer of any failure because they refuse sexual act for them.
Only those students,
yes,
will take to such as excuse. Well, I love that. Finally, what advice do you have for the students out there?
The serious issue with carryovers, as we see across the universities in Nigeria as I could say today, is as a result of these phones
Phones.
and social media's activities.
Hmm.
Our students are glued to their phones and they don't read again.
Hmm.
As a lecturer, I have insisted that students should not be snapping notes with their phones and say that is their note for a course.
So you mean students do that?
They do that. They do that. If you give them any note, they prefer snapping the note in their social media and be playing with it. And before you know, they slip off or in between, something pop in into their phone as either a WhatsApp message or what is it called? Instagram or what have you. And they will be distracted.
So they are distracted.
They are distracted. And you cannot, eat your cake and have it. If you don't read, if you don't study, the end point is carryover. So I will advise our students, especially in Delta State University, in particular my department, should do as much they can to make sure that they read their books, attend lectures. I tell you this, the university says that a student must attend 75% of classes before they could write exam. And in this recent exam that is ongoing, you see that a student that has not attended class once showing up for exams.
Wow. So what's such a student going to
Not
write?
right. The endpoint is carryover.
Hmm.
And by the time they fail, they say the lecturer is wicked, the lecturer is this. No. I will encourage our students to answer your question that they should be more studious.
Okay.
They should be more serious with their academic activities. And because you see, among these students, some of them who are beautiful, some of them who are ugly, they have good results.
Hmm.
Some of them will not have carryover all throughout their studies in the university. While some other ones are having.
So why is your case different?
It shows that there is a fault from that end of that student.
Wow.
So
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Yeah. But in the whole of the analysis and the courses you've actually outlined so far, you've not actually mentioned anything that has to do with maybe fault on the part of the school administration or maybe the school system. You've mentioned government, you've mentioned the parents, you've also mentioned the students, but you've not said anything about the school system. Does it mean the school system is so perfect and has no blame in the whole of all these things?
Yeah, I would say yes and no.
Okay.
No, because we are being told to take our jobs seriously.
Okay.
So lecturers are always available to impart knowledge, and then the students are not available, like I said earlier. Then the issue of I said yes because the system generally, for instance, we need steady power supply,
Okay.
to carry out our research. If we don't have that, the output will not be what is expected. And so the students, we have an e-library. If there's no light to power it, the students can't have access to the e-library.
Okay.
And so generally, I wouldn't put the blames on the lecturer or the university student.
Okay.
The university system rather.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So far, so good.
Okay. Then at this point, can you tell us what are some of the dangers, of all these manifestations? Does the negative effect of this manifestation on society generally or educational system generally?
Yes, like the saying goes, it is garbage in, garbage out. We have some very good students
Okay.
who know why they are in school. And so when you employ those students,